Do not make the worst mistake in family history like I did. There are plenty of other mistakes that you can make and you will make.
I've made a huge mistake.
That aren't necessarily irreversible like this one. So let's get right into it. I hadn't even thought about this until last week, which is what prompted me to do the video here in the first place, because my niece was relating a story about her grandparents, who I did know her grandparents, and I would have loved to have been able to talk to them about this, but there's no, and hear what their firsthand recollection was. So unfortunately, there's no recording of it. So what happened, what she relayed to us, was that her grandparents met when they were 14, and they were dating when he was drafted into the Navy 4 years later, because it was World War II. So what she had told us was that through their correspondence, Grandma was thinking about going out with another guy. Well, this didn't sit too well with Grandpa, as it shouldn't, who decided this was not going to happen. So he actually jumped ship. He wound up doing some time, but there is a tragedy here in that while he was gone, the ship was hit. So if he didn't go and jump ship, he may not have survived. And they wound up being a very happy story that they wound up being married over 60 years, but there's no record of it. And I know from my own experience, my aunt was like the matriarch of the family, and she knew everything about the family. And I always wanted to sit her down and have her and record all that she could remember. We put it off, and we put it off, and we put it off. And she wound up passing away, and so I was never able to record that. But now, most of us have a phone. So these got pretty good cameras on them, so there's no excuse anymore. So if you're just starting your family history journey, or you've been in it for a while and you have not taken the steps. So I did a tutorial last year, which I'll have linked in the description. I go into a lot of detail about how we can find our and start our family history. And the first tip is usually the same. You gotta speak with the older members of your family to find out how, to get as much information about our familia as we can. Because if you're gonna start trying to do family history with people born after 1950, especially after 1960, a lot of the records, it's not nearly as searchable, because the earliest census we have is 1950. It could have been really difficult when I did the Paul LaDuca video. It was lucky because he was named after his father, and he grew up in Glendale, Arizona. So how many LaDucas, of course, are going to be in Arizona? And it's also been why the amount of work that I have to do on the Anthrax video for Charlie Benante and his nephew Frank Bello. Whoa. Both guys born after 1960, so it really is a task putting that video together. But if you're not subbed, get subbed now and hit that bell icon so that you don't miss when the Anthrax video drops, because it's a good one. So an idea of where you can post for free the video so that you can share it with your family and always have it, again, free. We can go to Facebook, and you can just hit video. You could just hit video here, and you can go through and you can upload a video to Facebook, and you can also put that so that you can restrict who can see it, which is really good. Another way of doing it is if you are if you have a YouTube channel, and I use this. So not all the videos that I post can you see. So what you can do when you're posting a YouTube video is you can go right here. The button is for visibility. So you can click that. And then now you've got the option of going private or going unlisted. And so this is really good because I have a number of unlisted ones, especially if you're using a phone. The files are going to be fairly big, and if you get an hour-long discussion with a parent or a grandparent, it's going to take up a lot of room. So I just posted one not too long ago. It was 25 gigs, but it was almost 2 hours of HD video. So that's what we could do as far as posting the video so that we can share it with our family. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope if you haven't taken the opportunity to do a video interview or even an audio interview with some of the older members of your family, you'll be able to do so. And remember to ask questions regarding their family, where they came from, maybe what the origin of the family name is.
Picture it. Sicily, 1912.
get as much information as you can, and ask them about family stories, because there's probably a lot in there, and that'll give context not only to your family history, but probably pretty interesting stuff. Sort of like grandpa jumping ship to make sure that he and grandma have a happily ever after. So thanks for watching, and if you have any similar stories to that, or wild, outlandish stories that you've heard from grandparents, let me know in the comments. I love to read them. And as always, you know what to do now.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.